Last year has showed me otherwise. And so, we're out of turkey. Did I already say that? Everybody's getting ham.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. The weather's getting a little bit warmer, so do you know what I mean? Show a bit of skin. I can't believe it's already happening. I'm usually all jumping up. I haven't grown bored of talking about them, but I just feel like I've just spent so much of my time just like focusing on what they're doing. And so I don't know if you've noticed this, but I have been trying to incorporate, especially this week, and I've got loads of other videos about other people coming out, just trying to like prioritize not talking about them as much, talking about other people, even though they obviously don't, you know, get as much engagement. It's more fulfilling for me, and I think my audience like it as well, just sort of branching out, doing more vlogs and stuff. So yeah, I just want to like try and do other things just aside from talking about the Dougherty Dozen, because even though like, yeah, it's been a fun time, I do feel like we've kind of we're reaching that point with the Dougherty Dozen where so much stuff is fired off of all cylinders and has happened. I feel like there's a lot of like tension just generally, and unless there's something really, you know, that I really want to talk about, I'm not going to cover every single little detail. Doesn't mean to say I won't ever talk about them, but I do also like want to listen to my audience as well, and a lot of my audience is saying, you know, let's move on to other things. So that's what I've been trying to do, so I hope that you know, shows.
I don't like to think that other people in the world have ill intentions. Just trust people.
Couple things. There's a statement that Alicia made in her morning routine. So we know that she has just got back from, I think it was Nickelodeon Studios.
Sunday fun day, and today we are taking you along with us to Nickelodeon Universe.
It looks amazing. I've never been. I did actually watch that video. I didn't watch it sitting down. I was listening to it through my earphones, walking around, and to be honest with you, it sounded like they had a really good time. I wasn't eyeing and beating what they were buying. I was just like, whatever, I just want to find out how it was, because I was curious. I've never been before. I think all in all it was an okay vlog. There's nothing too sneaky suspicious happening, but the thing that was most interesting was she didn't tell us beforehand that she was going on this trip, and all of the trips that they've done before this trip, they have told us in advance. They've documented it. When they were there, they've been Instagramming it, and you know, we're basically there with them in real time. And this is so dangerous, and we have been telling her for the longest time that this is a really dangerous thing to do, because creeps might turn up, people might, you know, try and take their chances, and even if they're not, they might just be very over enthusiastic fans. So they did then start hiring security with their last trip to New York, or the one before, but there was a trip where one of their kids, it was a trip where they went to, I can't remember, basically they went away somewhere, and one of their kids ended up being like, I kind of beaten up or just sort of harassed a little bit, because we weren't given tons and tons of details. It's quite hard to tell what was happening, but like the police were called and things, and then they were also sharing pictures, like Alicia was and stuff, of just kids, like just fans turning up to where they were, because Alicia had already made it quite obvious, actually turning up to the property where they were staying and like taking pictures with the kids. Me and other commentary channels were saying this is actually quite dangerous because of a multitude of different reasonings. I mean, if like a young 14-15-year-old fan can work out where they are, then obviously someone with iller intentions can. Anyway, in a nutshell, I think that's what she's referring to in her morning routine. Alicia's basically gone on to say that she's wanting to be more reformed, that, you know, I'll play a little bit to you right now.
So our Sunday fun day was Nickelodeon Universe. I'll try and post that today, even though it's Tuesday. And yes, I finally learned, okay, I'm still learning. We have been vlogging for a year now, and I finally learned you don't tell YouTube you're away until you get home from vacation. For safety reasons. It took me a year to, no, it didn't take me a year to realize that. It took me, I don't know. It took me a while. Okay, it took me a while.
I mean, first off, can we give her like, can we give her a round of applause? I mean, it has honestly, It has taken about a year to get here. In all seriousness, I am so happy that she's now realising this. Whether that be she's realising this because of what Heather from Just the Bells was saying. She's basically saying that she's taking her kids off and Alicia's following suit. I know some people are saying that.
I really wasn't thinking of our family's safety or privacy or that anything would happen to us. I was just thinking, oh, they want to know how a big family works, you know, no big deal. And now I'm seeing that it's a big deal. And I'm seeing that families have people, you know, different creators, whether they're big families or single people, are having visitors, strangers. And I'm very thankful to this day that none of that has happened to. I know some of you are saying, but you've had these videos on forever, and what are you going to do about it? Well, I can't do anything about the past. I can only learn from my mistakes and take action now.
Or whether this whole thing with the bio mum, you know, all of that being so chaotic, and then she then realised that maybe this isn't the best thing, or was it her kid getting jumped on when they went on holiday? No matter what it is, I'm just happy that it has honestly taken about a year for this kerfuffle to actually end. Okay. She does say that she's naive and thinking not everyone's out there with good intentions.
To be honest with you, it's because I'm just naive, okay? I don't realize that there's like not good people in the world. I kind of just assume that everybody is good intentioned.
Now, I remember saying months ago, like last year, I remember going, I've always said that Alicia doesn't really understand how the internet works in terms of where its reaches and things. And I think she's now starting to realise this. She says that she's naive and she wants to see the best in people. Now, I'm a complete opposite. I am skeptical of everything, everyone. And maybe that's a really horrible way to live. But until you're proven otherwise, I'm a skeptical person. I don't trust. I mean, in my real life, it takes a few goes for me to be like, oh, okay, I think this person's all right, you know, okay, because I've met some shady people, I've met some weird people online, do you know what I mean? So I'm a lot more guarded with that, and there's no way I would put out the level of information that she has put out, because I'm just much more guarded. I feel like I'm aware, and a lot of other people are aware that not everyone has good intentions, and I can't believe it's taken her. I mean, it's good that we've gotten to here. It's good. I'm not knocking it. I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad that she's actually realising it. However, we have been telling her for the longest time, do not trust people. It's like when she was putting up pictures of like some of her kids wearing not enough clothing, and then she's telling everyone about this medical information, and she's and you know, I feel like all of that ties into the fact that she was extremely naive, and I do think she is a little bit naive. I still do now. I don't think I think she's getting it. She's getting the always consequences. I'm not saying of putting your children online, because I do think that in some cases, yeah, it's fine as long as you're not exploiting them. I've always said that. I'm not saying that all children should never be shown online ever again, or else you'll burn kind of thing. I'm not ever saying that. I'm saying that we shouldn't be showing them as much, and we shouldn't be pushing out all of their own personal information to these people.
This past year has showed me otherwise. And so, we're out of turkey. Did I already say that? Everybody's getting ham. And so I am adjusting things accordingly to keep my kids safe. And yeah. So anyways, we went away for the weekend. Sorry I didn't tell you guys, but gotta keep everybody safe. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Is anyone else like that? It's just like think the best of everyone. I don't know. Maybe it's a downfall. I don't like to think that other people in the world have ill intentions. I just trust people. And then I guess it bites me. Also have to remember to get Nutella.
I feel like she is getting it a little bit, but the fact that it's taken her this long to actually realise, does make me go, but why is it taking you this long? Because so many of us have been saying, so many of us have been saying this, but I am glad that she didn't film it in real time. You know, I think that's a good thing. She did actually reply to a comment, so I'll read it and put it up right here. So Alicia was replying to a comment which was basically asking, is everything okay? Did anything happen? And Alicia said, nothing happened, we are safe. Just in general, I was extremely naive to the reach we had being on social media. I take responsibility for that. I need to be more aware.
I had a doctor's appointment today. I didn't get like the best news ever. Just stuff with my personal health. I won't go into details. Anyways, I was in a really bad mood after, and I was just mad. I was just done with the day. Over it. Driving home, there's a man sitting in his driveway in the, like, what's the temperature out? 40?
48, yeah.
40 something. Rain snowing. Sitting in his driveway, waving and giving a peace sign to every single person who drove past. And it flipped my perspective, and I realized I was just having a pity party for myself, and I got over myself. And I realized my diagnosis could have been way 1,000 times worse than it was. And I'm thankful. And that's what happened.
Was also a bit as well, which I do understand why some people have reservations about this, with her basically saying that there was some sort of a medical issue, or she went to the doctors or whatever, but she doesn't want to discuss it. I understand where the frustration of that is coming in, especially as she has so openly talked about her kids' disabilities and problems and medical issues. Even, I mean, I actually think these videos are gone, but back when I first started covering her, she used to literally do the whole sorting out the kids' pills in the morning and putting them into little cups. I don't know if those videos are still around, but those are the types of videos that made me and other people start talking about her. She's nowhere near that level, because she was quite honestly describing exactly which child, like naming names, which child takes which, putting it into the things. She's not as bad as she used to be, but I do think it's pretty bold of her not to want to talk about her own issues, but then talk about her kids. It's all too easy to create a family channel and divulge all of your kids' personal things, because you can say as much as you want and it's not you personally, you know, it's gonna represent your children. But then if you then start saying it, you then feel like you're giving away too much information, like it's too private. But she's basically built her channel off of just talking about her kids' individualities, if that makes any sense. And I don't actually think it is within her own comfort zone to talk about her own issues. I actually think that she's seriously uncomfortable. This isn't what I know, this is just kind of what I think, because whenever she starts to talk a little bit more about her different issues, I feel like she does actually find it quite difficult. And I think what would be a really good thing for her to do, and this is just some advice, is to really, really open up and like tell your story. Maybe do one of those like drawing your story thingies that were ultra popular, but something like that, just to help people understand, because she has said some things. I believe she says that she has ADHD, I think that's what she said. Once again, like, that's great, I'm glad that she's telling us, but I feel like she does, and this is just based off of content that I've seen, for all I know she could have told a whole life story, but just based on the content that I've seen, I do think she struggles with sharing any piece of information about herself. But with her kids, she finds it easy because it's like something to hide behind. But do you know what? I don't know. I know some people are like well up in arms about it. And I think that given the amount of information she has said about her kids, it's pretty hypocritical to then not want to divulge information about yourself. There's obviously a barrier there with her going, oh, I don't really want to share that because it's a bit embarrassing or it's a bit personal. But then obviously we'll share her kids, so I do understand where that comes in. Anyway, that's pretty much all I am going to cover. I don't really want to cover anything else to do with bio parents and stuff, because honestly I've moved past it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Yeah, that's basically just all I wanted to say. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.